It's Nia's social security card with her new number. And her new number is, hello everyone, my name is Angelo and I'm a passport brother who brought his fiance from Vietnam to the United States to get married, and we plan to live here in the States for a few years as we prepare for the next leg of our journey, which is to move back to Southeast Asia for my early retirement and to spend some time in other wondrous countries. Today I'm here to talk to you about the great things that have been going on in 2024 for Nia and myself as we celebrate. I think it's been 6 months of marriage, and we are a few months into the change of status process with the USCIS. I filed a few months ago, late last year, and things have been progressing, and I wanted to take time to put together this short video to just share some of the great things that are going on. One is, obviously, this was Nia's first time celebrating the American version of the New Year celebration on December 31st. So that was a cool thing. We kept it pretty low key. My kids were here. We had a couple of bottles of sparkling grape juice, and we really just waited for the countdown and then called it a night. But as in most of Southeast Asia, the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year is the big celebration, and it has been for Nia since she was born. I work in a predominantly Vietnamese community, and so the Lunar New Year or Tet celebration or Chinese New Year, whatever you want to call it, has been a big part of my work for the last 10 years. And the place where I work, a big cultural center, multicultural center, celebrates the Chinese New Year in a big way. They hold the biggest celebration in the area. People come from miles around just to attend that celebration. So me being in charge of my department, and I'm usually standing guard over the VIP area, and this was my chance to give Nia some access to the VIP area where there's a band, there's some food and drink, and it's all outside. The politicians speak, the mayor speaks. This is very different from her Tet celebration in Vietnam, where it's really kind of low key. You go and spend time with your family as opposed to go and attend this big outdoor event with line dances and all kinds of other stuff. So I convinced her to come with me to work that day, and she dressed in her traditional ao dai, and it happened to be the ao dai she wore during the Christmas party for her old job back in Vietnam in December 2022. And she got a lot of rave reviews for that at that time, and because she was actually the hostess for the event. She did all the announcement, introduced all the people, talk, and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool. She got to wear her ao dai. She got to meet some of my coworkers, some of the people that I work with on a regular basis, the tenants and the shopkeepers in the area. I even introduced her to my billionaire boss, who was nice to meet her, who was pleased to meet her, and it was a really good time. So 2024 started off pretty decently with the new year, and then we had like a festival that led up to the celebration of Tet, or the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, on I believe that was February 10th, and everything went fine. So we're really happy about that, and then now we're waiting on status of our I-485 petition, which is for the change of status, and then also for a word on whether or not they would accept the application for work authorization. So we're waiting, and finally we got a notice, pretty much like this, that talked about, that told us that we had an interview scheduled at the end of this month. This is February. At the end of this month for, excuse me, for the change of status application. So we started getting hyped up about that and getting ready to, deal with that situation and prepare all of the things that we need to prepare for the interview and just all those things. And then there's some scuttlebutt going on that says sometimes they don't actually hold the interview. They waive it based on your application package. So obviously that's in the back of our mind. We're hoping that that becomes the case. But regardless, we are prepared for this interview. So that's a good thing. But what's next is we get another letter like this. It's an I-797 Notice of Action form that says that, whoa, we have already been approved for work authorization. Hooray! So with that approval, we get, she is mailed an EAD card, which is the approval, employment approval card. And then when I read the letter, I went to find out if I need to take some steps to go and obtain a Social Security number, Social Security card for her, because it really wasn't clear to me. But when I read the rest of the letter, it said that after she received, well, we got this notice, and then about 2 weeks later, we should receive her EAD card, and then a week after that, we'll receive her Social Security card. So we're like, oh, look at that, we're golden. This thing is rolling along. We got a lot of motivation, a lot of momentum, and things are moving. Next thing you know, Saturday morning, my daughter goes to check the mail. She comes back, and she hands me a piece of mail, and I open it up, and holy smoke, it's Nia's Social Security card with her new number. And her new number is, psych, I'm not going to give it to you. So she's got her new Social Security card and her new number. That facilitates getting a bank account, her getting a job, a whole bunch of things that you can't do as an American citizen or an American resident without a Social Security number. So now she has that. So we are like on top of the moon because things are moving, and we've already set the stage. We've already set things into motion, and now it's like the snowball effect. One thing after the other is happening and happening and happening and happening, and we're just kind of reaping the benefits of our hard work because I did assemble and put together and fill out all of our documents. We didn't use a lawyer. We didn't use any of these services out there or anything like that. And, a lot of people told us that we should, but I don't think it's necessary if you understand what's being asked of you. If you don't understand certain things, for sure, you should get a consultation from a professional. But nowadays, it's really kind of hard to determine who is and who isn't a professional. So we've had a lot of luck. We've had some hardships and we've overcome some obstacles, but we are in the final stages. And now we're sitting back wondering if at some point before the end of this month, where our interview is scheduled, if we're going to get a call or a letter from the USCIS waiving the interview and telling us that we don't need to attend it, that they've automatically going to process the temporary or conditional green card, which I think is valid for 2 years, and then boom, and everything is now rock solid and ready to go. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about how things are going and how things are progressing. And then to top it all off, I think I mentioned in a previous video that I met someone at work. It was an African American gentleman, retired, maybe semi-retired, and he came looking for information on what it took to obtain a visa to go to Vietnam. And he happened to tell that to one of my coworkers, and my coworkers knew that I'd been to Vietnam 5 times, so obviously I knew this information. So he and I started talking. His name is John, And John had actually met a mature woman over there in Vietnam, and they were talking, and he was going to fly out to meet her and see if they had chemistry and things were kicking off. So I was really excited that his a brother that's basically going through the same thing I was going through, and then fate just dropped him in my lap so that I could help him and facilitate his process. Well, now it turns out that he spent about 2, maybe 3 months in Vietnam in the latter part of 2023. And he's just returned to the United States. He sent me an email. He sent me pictures of his lovely fiance, Hong. And she actually was born in the same province as my wife. And he plans on going back in a few weeks, and then they're going to get married. So I'm excited about that. And, there are more brothers like me out there and like him out there who are looking for traditional women to have traditional relationships and traditional marriages. We're not fighting with masculine women, and we just want to have a good, peaceful time with a woman, and we want to provide for them. We want to take care of them, and we want to do things together. And, the world is changing, and I'm excited about the direction that it's going for men finally. So I will keep you guys informed of every step of the process. If I find out that we don't need to have that interview, I will make another video and tell you all about that. And then the next stage of it's whatever it's going to be. I don't know at this point because everything's moving so fast. But in the meantime, please always check out my website, my blog at www.angelojbell.com. There I talk about passport brothers, finance, relationships, and minimalism, because that's something that I'm trying to get involved in right now. So thanks again for staying tuned. Thank you if you are a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the old school crew for hanging in there with me. I'm going to try to pump out some additional videos with some information that will be helpful to you, as well as telling you the story of how things go with me and myself. Don't forget to check out the pictures at the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.